Uh-oh, our intro is not working. Okay, so our intro's not working for some strange reason, and I don't know why, but we are the Tipsy Realtors with Remax Real. Oh, now it's going.
Okay.
Hello there, here we are, Tipsy Realtors, and
Season finale!
it is the season finale. Does that mean we have to go like extra long or have lots of drama?
That's why we late. The intro didn't work. Then there was like different episodes start rolling in.
Yeah, exactly.
It just had to happen. I think the sound needs to go next and then stop recording.
Oh,
like it's
that would be fun.
Like one of those things.
Or super glitchy. We've had that before.
Yeah,
all right,
exactly.
But we are on the season finale of season 3, and we have a ton of exciting information. But most of all, we have the most important thing is we're going to teach you how to make a French tart, and we're going to talk about vacation homes in and around Calgary, what they cost, what you can afford, where you can go, and the kind of things to expect and think about when looking at purchasing one.
Yeah, I think people are going to be surprised of how much Alberta has to offer close to home to Calgary area. Just so everybody thinks, vacation home is supposed to be somewhere far away.
Yeah.
And there's a tons of great places. But let's start with the fun part, right? Let's do the drinky drink.
So this drink is actually something that is stirred, not shaken. So there's no dancing for the two of you.
No dancing. That's for season finale, no dancing.
Exactly. And sorry, I didn't introduce you should know who we are. I'm Robin, Victoria, Anna. But I didn't actually say our names, so we're going to say them now. Exactly. So we are in a stirring glass with ice. We've got that in there. And then we are going to get started on the cocktail. So the cocktail in itself is pretty simple. I had to make rosemary simple syrup. So I got rosemary from my garden and I put it in with sugar and water and I just boiled it until it kind of reduced to half, and then it was kind of nice and syrupy, and then let it sit. The rosemary is in. So even actually Anna walked in and she's like, "Are you making jam?"
Yeah, it smelled so nice and like a pie jam sweetness in the air, and it was really hot in here. So I was like, making jam.
Exactly. Yeah. And we put that in there with a little bit of lemon juice. Sure. No problem. And then we move on to our grapefruit juice. So the grapefruit juice for this one, you can do 1 to 2. So it really depends on how much you need to put in your glass, as you can decide. And you do 1 to 2 there. And then they want 2 ounces of vodka.
2 ounces of vodka. Okay. So it's not light drink.
It's not. And then there's 1 ounce of elderflower liqueur.
Oh, yeah.
So it is a 3-ounce cocktail. Yeah. So drink wisely. Yes. And then we start.
All right.
Okay. So what do you think is strong, right?
I don't think you'll taste the alcohol.
No,
I think
it'll be very floral, I'm guessing.
Innocent color.
Yes, it's very innocent color.
It looks innocent.
Yeah. I'm gonna just
but it's the only thing on this show that looks innocent is the color of this. What's actually kind of cool too is the rosemary syrup. I've got another cocktail I made the other day that the rosemary syrup is going to go really, really well with. It was a orange rosemary drink.
Yes.
Yeah, it was really, really good. It was a beautiful taste to it.
Like a marmalade.
I don't know. It was kind of interesting though because it wasn't overpowering by anything in it, and that's what was kind of interesting about it.
And we're using a coupe glass for this, so kind of I think in your like flute coupe glass would be.
Yeah.
Oh, yours turned out a different color.
I don't know why that is.
And we're gonna garnish it with fresh rosemary.
Mine might be lighter because I actually put in a little less
grapefruit juice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, you can garnish this with a piece of grapefruit, but we use flowers, edible flowers from the garden, and a little bit of fresh rosemary because it makes it look a lot more exotic.
Oh my God, looks gorgeous. Okay. Oh, Robin, cheers! Come on.
Sorry.
She's the finale. You have to cheer. Okay. Yeah.
I don't like grapefruit juice, but I like that. It tastes a lot better than I expected.
Very strong.
It's strong.
Yeah, but
you guys think it tastes strong?
Everything's strong for me though.
I can taste like vodka.
Well, yeah. You can definitely taste a bit of alcohol.
Yeah, but it's very delicious.
No,
I would
really
say, good. You know what? There is a sweetness, but it's kind of balanced with the tartness a little bit. Because probably maybe like a lemon juice we used as well. It's not that too sweet of drink. It's definitely pleasant. I would say it's a great like opening cocktail
Yeah.
for the like night when the guests come over and you like
Absolutely.
serve this beautiful flowering.
Now, we were going to use regular, like fresh squeezed grapefruit juice, and I used ruby red instead, but it's because of the fact that I can't seem to tell the difference between a grapefruit and an orange in the grocery store.
Just think it's
She bought
because it
oranges
looks-
instead of grapefruit.
Yeah,
I
From the
did.
grapefruit shop.
I mean, they look like a really good orange, to be
Yeah.
honest.
They're
They will look giant.
I know.
Just giant orange.
So don't judge the size by its cover. No.
All right, Rob
Covered
says
by
this is
itself.
his. Rob says this is his kind of drink, so we might have to send some home with him.
I keep eating rosemary.
So-
It's delicious. Very refreshing too on a nice, beautiful day like this. Actually.
I know.
Super girly. And just like my husband likes it.
So,
Aw.
so we are talking about vacation properties, and I think the Robin is the best one who can say a lot about vacation properties because she has one in Crow's Nest Pass.
And when in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
But in Anna's defense, she lives constantly on a property.
I live on
Property,
vacation.
yeah.
Yeah, after like a many, a long time struggling where to buy vacation properly, we settled on Chestermere to be right on the lake. It's 20 minutes.
But it did. Chestermere used to be a vacation property.
Yes.
So you're
Wait,
on a permanent
back in the day.
vacation.
Yeah, permanent vacation. It's
She's on
really hard to work in the summer. I have to say that. Once you get up and that water is glistening, all you want to do is just grab your towel and the book. Yeah, instead of computer and whatever else.
But the big thing is
Yeah.
when you're looking at those vacation homes, you really have to think about what is the purpose that you're buying it. So everyone just like, oh, I want a vacation home. Okay, well, do you want it for a short-term rental when you're not using it? Or is it only for your personal use? Are you looking at lake life? Are you looking at RV life? Are you looking at mountain life? Are you looking at remote life? Like you want to be away from everyone?
Yeah.
Do you want a slower pace life? Or are you looking inside a national or provincial park? Because those all come with different limitations and different rules and different things that you have to think about and different things that you have to check in. But that's also why you should always use a licensed real estate agent. Now, we are licensed in the province of Alberta, so we have sold property all the way from Edmonton all the way down to past Lethbridge. So we all do know how to help you border to border here in Alberta. Once you go into BC, you will require a realtor that's licensed in BC, but we're going to talk about buying in BC later because, again, there's a lot more complexity that goes with buying in BC. So we're going to talk about Alberta now.
Yeah, and the reason like I like this topic is because it really kind of opens up because people don't want to drive for 6 to 8 hours to get somewhere, so they can drive for 6 and 8 hours back, right?
Yeah.
And the fast getaway, like those weekenders, makes it a lot easier, especially if you have small children, right? Because you have to pack everything and take them. And, if you just like an hour or 2 hours away max, like that's like incredible, right?
Yeah.
You get away, you have a spot to go. One of the problems like my husband and I had is about thinking about buying vacation properties that we like to go to different spots.
Yeah.
So once you buy a vacation property, you need to know that you can be committing, carrying the cost, or you have to go to make it worthwhile. So whatever you're buying, you have to absolutely love that. Like, if you're a mountain person, buy in the mountains. If you want somewhere close to the water, don't compromise.
Yeah.
Because you end up hating it. And then a lot of people are going to try to rent it or Airbnb it and just never end up going. And it's vacation property that a lot of people just like, well, I never want to be a landlord or whatever. But those could be great income earners.
Well, and then the other thing too, like you talk about not wanting to go to the same spot, what's kind of cool sometimes about a vacation property is that you can actually go on these sites like Home Exchange. There used to be Love Home Swap, but Home Exchange bought that. And then there used to be, I think it was like Swap Your Home, and Home Exchange bought that. So Home Exchange is kind of your main guy here. Is you can actually go on with other people with their properties and you can actually swap time for time within their property. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just.
There's a towel.
It's okay.
But
yes,
so
so
that is a way that you can get accommodations elsewhere around the world, and you can use it for your vacation home. So it's not renting; it's swapping time for time.
That's
and
right.
Home Exchange is a great website that allows you
and
to
the community,
do that.
like I've been doing it now just over a year. I absolutely love the community. Like people are so respectful because
Yeah.
you actually, like, when you're doing a home exchange, you literally either exchanging homes or swapping for points or whatever. But people are used to that somebody else is coming to stay in their home, so they're very respectful of your home. It's a lot safer than like a short-term rentals or Airbnb kind of things because those people like take extra good care
because you
of
want
your
to
property.
receive the same attitude.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, because
And-
everybody's got a home in the game.
Yeah.
Everybody's
And
home's
one
on
thing
the
I was
system.
gonna mention too, don't think you only are limited to buying a house or a cabin or acreage or something. There is even like for yourself you can be comfortable with just piece of land and you can put your own trailer on it, kind of make it like a couple of my friends actually just done it. They put nice deck around.
Yeah.
They get built-in fireplace, like really beautiful. Like you kind of settle in, kind of in wilderness, but with amenities.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and there is a need for that too. There is a people who want to get away, who live in a home in a big city, just something like that, even for rental.
So what's funny is on home exchange for me, you can actually swap. Well, I guess for you too, but you can swap for yachts. You can swap for RVs. You can swap
tree
for trail.
houses.
Yeah, I know, and it's super super cool. So you get the same kind of thing. It gives you options, but the big thing is how far do you want to be from Calgary when you're buying your property? The other thing is how much do you want to pay? What's your budget? And based on that budget, what can you afford and where can you afford? Because those are also the other things as well. Because for us, when we bought our vacation rental the first time, or vacation property, we wanted to be within 3 hours of Calgary. So that was our boundary, is 3 hours driving distance from Calgary. Because for me, I needed to be able to come home if I had to work with a client. I needed to have internet. I needed to have all the amenities. So we picked somewhere where it was a little bit more of a town.
Civilized,
Yeah.
I guess, like with the connections.
More rural than urban.
Yeah.
So talking about the closest one, the big town is Canmore.
Canmore.
It's really, really popular destination. But the thing is, like, I have a lot of clients who's asking me, "Why this apartment in Canmore like 300?" And like, no, it's timeshare. So it's really popular in Canmore, the timeshare.
The apartment in Canmore is 6,000,
Yeah.
600,000. Yeah.
Yeah. What is timeshare? So you basically buy a couple of weeks a year that you can spend time there.
But that's actually great. We have notes. I didn't even put that in my notes, but that's a great point because you're right. You can buy fractional ownership versus full ownership. And you may only want to buy a couple of weeks a year versus buying the whole entire house, which is another great and valuable way to have vacation property.
Yeah, it's just that always remember if you are sharing, there is a guide of regulations that you have to kind of follow. And it's not so easy to sell timeshare either.
Not as liquid.
And not as liquid because then you have to find another person who wants to share ownership with a whole bunch of strangers.
But talking about Canmore, they restrict the short-term rental Airbnbs.
Yeah, it's
and
impossible.
Right now, fines for like illegal Airbnb
$5,000
rates
a
are
day.
$5,000 a day.
Yeah.
And they allow to buy Airbnb just in like commercial districts.
Yeah.
So, and to buy in commercial district, you need to remember that you need down payment minimum 35%.
Yep.
So it's quite pricey. So they try to actually hold it.
So, but that's exactly it with your budget. Mobile homes are financed differently than residential homes. And mobile homes will even depend on the year the mobile home was built as to how and if they're going to finance it. So those are the kind of things that you need to think about. Bare land is only financed at 50%. So you've got to have, if you're just buying land and throwing a trailer on it, you better have 50% down. And you want to think about, does the bare land, where are the utilities? Are they at the property line? How do you access them? What's the cost? All that kind of stuff.
Well, you have to think about if the utilities are important to you too, right?
Absolutely.
Because you can buy the land with utilities all close to your property line, and you can buy the bare land that has nothing close to it, nothing on it. Obviously, the price tag is a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
But that's something you can hold water, you can bring your own propane, like all those things are also doable. But bringing stuff on could be also very costly. The transportation for those things are
and if you want to build
expensive.
And if you want to build a house, it doesn't mean that you can build wherever you want. There is some regulation.
Or whatever you want. Yeah.
There is like some regulation, like it should be everything built according to the code. And
so one of the things, like when you start like if you talk to us, like I want to buy a piece of land, like one of the questions we ask, what do you want to do with it? What is your long-term plan? Are you gonna just kind of tent on it, make 5 years so the kids grow up, and then you're just gonna sell it? Or you're planning to redevelop, you're planning to build something, you're gonna bring some utilities in. Because based on your long-term goals, there will be different things what we're gonna advise you on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's all very ridiculously important things, especially when you're buying land. The other one is I like looking at land in the summer if we're looking at bare land, because you also want to know if there's sloughs, water issues, stuff like that, because pooling water and stuff is hard to sometimes see in the wintertime.
Yes.
So looking at it in the summertime, so you see if it's swampland, because swampland sometimes can be sold in the wintertime and nobody knows until the summer, and that can make a huge effect on what you're going to do with the land or how you can use the land.
That's right, because if you're planning to have animals on the land, like let's say you're planning to rent the land for local acreages of farmers, for horses to graze, for cow. Oh my god! Hey, Susan Finale! Finally!
I'm not the one who's joking here.
I'm joking on the show. I feel like we should drink just because of that. Like if something wrong happens, we should drink. Okay, there you go.
Okay, hang on. I'm just gonna be embarrassed now.
Okay.
All right.
Anyway, but let's talk about the areas. Let's throw some names out. You guys write super fast because this is not gonna. I'm kidding. So let's we go
if
over
we're
that
gonna
again.
go to the west, it's like Canmores and Banff and like a lot of small towns around,
Dead
right?
Man's Flat, Three Sisters.
Yeah, so it's a good idea if you want to buy somewhere there. You don't need to stuck with the big towns like Canmore and Banff. You can browse all around.
Yeah, and since I know Desmond Flat, for example, on the way allows Airbnb, so it's kind of like 15 minutes out.
Yeah.
And you can do Airbnb, you can have that mountain lifestyle. So that's kind of one way to go west.
But know that the moment you enter Banff National Park or any national park or any provincial park, there is an automatic restriction on short-term rentals. So and the other thing to think about is that once you enter a national or provincial park, the only person you're dealing with to get permits, to do things to your property and all that kind of stuff is the federal and provincial government. And I'm not trying to be mean, but they're kind of a pain in the ass to try and deal with, especially the federal. So I'm just warning you, there is some complexity when you go onto a national or provincial park.
Yeah, and remember, the land is there leased, so you don't own the land.
Yeah.
One of the properties I would call now, it's a city. I was there over the Canada long weekend. Cochrane is becoming we have been working Cochrane now for many years, and some years we're there more than others, and lately we've been there even more
because the property values are amazing out there.
Property value is amazing. You get a lot more for your dollar. It's a lot cheaper. You're so much closer to the mountains. The development there is fantastic. All the amenities is there, and there is a new communities, there is older communities. So it's a little bit for everybody.
Yeah.
And it's only I live in Chestermere. It's a 40-minute away from Chestermere. What was it for you? 30 minutes from Northwest?
Well, technically it's 8 minutes border to border.
Oh, okay. Well,
I can bike there in 45. I'm just saying.
So it's super close to Calgary. So I know some people who bought there and commuted to Calgary for work, but also it's a great way to get to the mountains faster. Yeah. And there is very little restrictions on Airbnb. Of course, if you buy a condominium, you have to check bylaws.
Yeah.
But as far as I've been doing some research lately on that, and there is a majority is still allowing Airbnbs in Cochrane.
And if you like mountain lifestyle, you can go south. Actually, there is Waterton, there's Browsness Pass, and closer to BC. But we also have a lot of option on going to the north, going to Red Deer. It's like Sylvan Lake, it's Gull Lake, Pigeon Lake, wherever lakes.
Glacier Lake or
Ghost Lake, between
Glenifer Lake.
Yeah, Glenifer and the Dixon Dam becoming super. I just actually was having a conversation with a friend of mine that whole bunch of their friends looking in Glenifer Lake, looking at Dixon Dam, because it's one of the most unpopulated lakes. It's kind of getting discovered because people are looking for new ways to spend time closer to Calgary. and that's one of the lakes. It's between Calgary and Red Deer, so not super far.
Yeah.
Dixon Dam, like I know, like we went there like so many times before. It's a great for camping and fishing and all kind of stuff.
So here's the one thing I can tell you is when we purchased our place in Crow's Nest Pass, we bought it 18 years ago, the year my son was born. Because I knew as a realtor, I said, it's not a matter of if this will become valuable.
It's an illness if you're a realtor. You just buy things.
Yeah,
you buy
it's a matter
real
of
estate.
when, yeah.
It was a matter of when in the Crow's
Yeah.
Nest Pass. So we purchased the house in the Crow's Nest Pass for $90,000. It was completely logical. It was ridiculously cheap at the time. And we bought it and we've held on to it as a vacation property. And we use it now as an Airbnb. And the house across the street from us, it's on a smaller lot in a lesser house, just listed and conditionally sold at $325,000. So you have that growth pattern of value within your property. But Crow's Nest Pass just put in bylaws, and this is always something you're looking at when you're looking at short-term rentals, is what are their rules or their appetite or the political climate for short-term rentals. Excuse me, as I'm going to choke again. So the Crow's Nest Pass just put in their short-term rentals. Ideally, and because you may have someone who's a strong advocate, you would have less likelihood that it's going to get worse. It might get better as time goes on. But then you have to look at places like Canmore, where Canmore started with very liberal short-term rental rules, and slowly Canmore has tightened it and tightened it and tightened it and tightened it, and has become even more difficult to have a short-term rental in Canmore. So you have to look at those kind of things. It's a really big, broad kind of discussion and research, but this is why you hire an agent, because we're the people that know that. Because it was
we
actually
already do the research. So you have to remember we're dealing like I don't know, I want to say thousands, but hundreds of people per year with all
I don't know, we've been killing it this year.
Yeah, well, with like, you know, it's just like we're dealing with a lot of people, like we're dealing with the dreamers, people with the planners, people who building their portfolios, first time home buying. Like
People who don't know what to do at all.
Yeah, there is like a lot, we dealing with a lot of questions. And even though like with our great experience here, like Robin's been in here since 1999.
98.
98. I just celebrated my 18th year.
Yeah. She's an adult in real estate now.
Yeah, finally. Now we finally can drink.
Yeah, she's a drinking realtor now. She became legal.
You know, Victoria is like fairly new, but she's doing. She's a good team.
Oh my God, she's so eager. Like you guys have no idea.
No,
she
kills it. She's a shark. So what I'm saying is,
I like business hippo.
Business hippo. We'll do the hippo at the end, okay?
Okay.
All right. So with all our experiences, with all different walks of life, with all different people, with all different goals and dreams, like we speak to hundreds of people per year. And we research. If we don't know, we research because the bylaws constantly changing, regulations are constantly changing,
and we never assume.
Yeah, you can't assume anything in real estate because that's how you're gonna get yourself in trouble. You always double check and triple check. Yeah, that's right. And you have to have a good lawyer representation and things like that. Because from financing to closing, it could be a lot of things that can go wrong if you're not prepared. And that's where we come in because we need to know so you know. Yeah.
But here, let's talk about where you can afford, because that's always a big thing. So right now, Canmore is averaging $3 million of property. If you want to buy in Canmore, please call us. We would love to help you.
Condo starts at $600,000.
Yeah. Gull Lake, which is just north of Sylvan Lake. I personally love it.
I do. Love it. I have friends who have a cabin there.
Yeah.
And we spend some time. It's great.
Absolutely. And I've got someone, I sold a property out there too, and they use it as an Airbnb, and it's absolutely fantastic. Now you're looking at about $300,000 in average right now out in Gull Lake. And there's really no restrictions in Gull Lake at this point. They don't really have a homeowners association, all that kind of stuff. So it's super cool out in Gull Lake. Waterton, Exshaw, Ghost Lake, Denman Flats, you're looking at $1 million average. So that's what you're looking at.
Ghost Lake will be cheaper.
If you're buying one on the...
Depends on the lake or if you're in the village.
Yeah.
And I was just checking because I was doing the research for one of my clients. So Ghost Lake has a cottage, I don't know, complex would you call, around the lake. So there is no Airbnb allowed. But if you're in a village, which is a lot much older homes, you can do whatever you want there still.
Yeah, but the village, though, is fairly cheap. Like, you can actually buy pretty reasonable in the village. Yeah.
For the house.
Yeah. So, Pine Lake, $500,000, and yes, it is in a tornado path, but technically all of Alberta is a tornado valley, so please keep that in mind. There was one tornado in Pine Lake many, many moons ago. Milo, which is south, at $500,000 is their average. Pigeon Lake, you're looking about a $240,000 average. Drumheller, which, believe it or not, if you're a camper, huge destination place. Yeah. The hoodoos and stuff like that. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I have friends who go camping there all the time. I never have been because it's always like they go in June when it's like down season. So, but as long as so Drumheller, as beautiful it is, it gets hot, it gets dry, and it gets stormy.
There is Prairie Oasis near
I like Drumheller.
There is Prairie Oasis near Drumheller. There's wonderful campsite, and this lake is so warm.
Yeah,
so warm. Oh my God, I never ever been in this kind of temperature. The lake in Alberta, never.
And then Glenifer is about $400,000. Now there's still Sundre, Waterton Valley. There is a ton of properties that you could take a look at. So if you're looking at vacation properties, call us, talk to us. Let us sit down with you. Tell us what your priorities are, and we're going to tell you what works in your budget, and we can help you out because we know all of them.
Okay, let's touch on BC really quick because it's a price time. I feel like it's going way too long for the last show. People already forgot.
Yeah, sorry. The really popular destination in BC, it's like 3 hours drive. It's Radium Hot Springs, Fairmont Hot Springs. But the one thing you need to remember when you're buying there, you have land transfer taxes when you're buying in BC.
So here's what you need to remember. Both. It's both. Buy both. So here's what you remember when you buy in BC. BC stands for bring cash and do you like taxes? Because that is what BC is, man. Taxes and taxes and taxes and bring cash. That is BC.
See, that's normal for you.
It is. I don't buy in BC personally because I don't like taxes and I don't like.
As we said, even though we could be very familiar with BC, I would never work in BC just because it gets complex there. So rather we have a team of agents that we know in all different parts of BC. We can recommend you to, and you're going to be in the good hands. Okay, that's about BC. That's enough.
That's all. Bring cash, taxes.
Okay. Yeah. So let's do fun part now.
Government intervention.
So
it's all great.
It is the season finale. Season 3. Tipsy Realtors. We are done for the summer, and this is our last monthly prize.
So we like drinks in margarita glasses that freeze.
Yeah.
So please feel free to invite us over to utilize the glasses of which you're about to win.
We will share the one glass between 3 of us, no problem.
One straw.
Yeah, it's 3 straws. Yes. They're big enough to be 3 straws. Okay, hold on. Where am I here? There you go. I'm gonna do this. Show you. We gotta have a busy wheel with a whole bunch of new names.
Thank you to everyone who liked, shared, and participated in winning this month's prize. We super, super appreciate it. What's the name? Cody?
Carly Gallant.
Oh, Carly! Thank you. I'm so excited for you. She's amazing, Carly.
Okay, there you go. Congratulations, Carly.
Yay, Carly.
It looks like you and Robin will be doing margaritas together.
She's in Ontario.
Oh, well, the way you travel, you'll be in Ontario.
So, only for a layover.
Yeah.
And this is for season 4, probably.
Well, we actually know this is, it's going to be played in September.
Yes. So September 6th is our first show, and we will be talking about cocktail bombs and real estate truth bombs. So the cocktail bombs are
I forgot this design.
I know. So the cocktail bombs were actually given to us by, I call her Speedy, but her real name is Denise. So Speedy gave us and sent us cocktail bombs, asking us to put them on the show. So we are going to try the cocktail bombs on the show. Super excited.
Yeah, I was going to try some of those.
Yeah, I've been holding them downstairs, waiting for this show. So I'm so excited on September 6th for the first show of season 4 because there's multiple things happening in season 4, which are
Oh my
so
God.
exciting.
We've been working on a lot of stuff. Like,
We
you know,
have.
we've been working on some new exciting stuff for season 4 because it is season 4. Like,
It
we have
is
to come
season
up with the new
4.
stuff, right?
Exactly. So I
Yeah.
forgot to download the picture, but you will be available to buy on Amazon an actual cocktail recipe book that will have the date, the cocktail, the recipe, and the conversation that we're going to have. And you're going to have notes for the cocktail and notes for the conversation so you can keep track of everything we make,
Yeah.
what you like and what you don't like. And you can also keep track of the things that you want to remember about the conversation in that. So you're going to be able to buy our book on Amazon. We're going to backdate for all the seasons. You can buy all 4 of them, or you can just buy season 4 to keep up with us. But it's going to be so cool because our book's going to be on Amazon, the Tipsy Realtor.
Exactly. So watch out for the links and the announcements because it's going to come over the summer. So you guys can all purchase and be ready for the September 6th.
Exactly. And then this is the prize to give away at the end of September. It's a big, huge juice jug.
It's a water jar. You can infuse your water in there. It comes with a cleaning tool, cap, all that kind of stuff. So it's good to for the patio margaritas. You were talking about water. It's infused water patio margaritas. It's kind of like that. Infused ice.
Oh, sorry, hang on.
Okay.
That's who's providing all the gifts and all the prizes. Thank you.
Yes,
Rika,
thank you.
we want to be compliant. We very much want to be compliant with Rika.
So thank you so much for the Remax Realty Professionals to be our sponsor.
Yeah.
In this. And of course, we will be we're gonna be posting, we're gonna reposting some of our favorite shows. I'm gonna be cutting down the funny moments of our shows and reposting
which are like all of them. I have no idea how she's gonna get to
this one definitely gonna make it there. And you can still like and love and share and tag and especially if it's really funny, you can like reshare those funny moments. And invite your friends to watch our shows for season 4, and your name will be entered into the drawer as many times as you like, tag, and share.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
so we're available on all social media platforms, obviously, but the best way to reach us is by the phone. We are working in the summer. We take turns. That's why it's 3 of us, because we are human and we need some vacation. But you guys always text us, email us, whatever you want, and we will answer your questions. As I said, it's great time, like right now, to look for lake properties, vacation properties, any like kind of like, a property that's not just like 4 walls in a house, the one you need to see how it is in the summer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So remember, tell your friends, family, coworkers, neighbors, people you don't like, to please use us as your agent. We get along with everybody, and we will help anybody help at least answer their questions. The biggest thing is answering questions. That's my big, huge thing is we want to make sure you get your questions answered. We want to make sure you have the right advice. We will tell you the advice even if it's not in our best interest, but that it's in your best interest because we really do value that. There is no such thing
I can't. You guys, if you have a goal and you think you can, call us and we're going to show you how you can.
Absolutely.
So let's our last cheer for season 3 finale. Do I get a final rose?
A final rose? Oh my God.
Like a flower.
Oh, that's right. Bachelor. I was like, you got a flower.
Yes.
The final rose.
I guess we can turn it off.
Okay. Rob's in there. Rob says, have a great summer. Robin, Anna, and Victoria, best realtors ever. Thank you, Rob.
Mwah.
All right. See ya. And have fun in Costa Rica, Rob.